Now, ahead of his 90th birthday celebrations on Sunday, the Dalai Lama has confirmed the institution will continue and his successor will be chosen as per tradition. Thousands, including the Hollywood star Richard Gere, gathered to attend the festivities in northern India, where Tibetans in exile have built a community. Well, let's go live to our correspondent, Samira Hussain, who is where it's all going on. Samira, the recorded message has played out. What did the Dalai Lama have to say?
For anyone that was expecting some major kind of break from tradition, they may be a little disappointed. In this message that was actually recorded back in the end of May, but only made public today, you know, the Dalai Lama said that, look, there is a tradition that has existed for a very long time, and that tradition is going to continue, and that is how the next Dalai Lama will be chosen. And the way that the tradition goes is that, you know, a successor is going to be chosen upon his death. It's when they will find usually a young boy who will represent the reincarnation of this 14th Dalai Lama and then continue the work that he has already begun. That's sort of what we've already heard in 2011, and he reiterated that. Now what's going to happen is that the number of monks that have come from all over South Asia and internationally are going to gather, and they're going to interpret that message. And they're going to parse through it. And then they will also, you know, sort of keep in mind what it is that the Dalai Lama has said that he wants for his future.
And his birthday is on Sunday, isn't it? And there's various events and festivities between now and then.
It's a week-long celebration for this particular Dalai Lama, and I don't think you can really underplay just what kind of an impact he has had on Tibetans living in exile. You know, of course, it is his mission as the Dalai Lama to spread the message of Buddhism, but at the same time, has this real magnanimous kind of personality, and has humor mixed with humility, and it's made for an amazing kind of combination. And he's really been able to put the struggle for Tibetan freedom on the global stage. He is easily the most recognizable Tibetan right now. And I think, you know, there is some apprehension among the community about, you know, what happens next in the interim between when this new Dalai Lama is found and then appointed and becomes of age, in which they can actually be the spiritual leader of the Tibetan of the Buddhist people in Tibet. So it's really a moment of celebration right now for people here.
Thanks, Samira. We'll see you again soon. Samira Hussain there. Well, let's bring in Robbie Barnett, a Tibet scholar at the School of Oriental and African Studies here in London, and the Lao China Institute at King's College London. Welcome to BBC News.
Hello.
So I assume you're not surprised then to hear that in that recorded message, the Dalai Lama said a successor will be chosen as per tradition.
Yes, he had signalled this in a book he published a couple of months ago, and we had heard a number of rumours that he had made this decision. But it's actually quite important because he had said very clearly in 2011 that there were alternatives that he was considering. He was considering choosing a successor by a process he called emanation, who would be an adult. That system would have avoided the interregnum that we're now going to have after he dies. That's the period of, shall we say, at least 4 or 5 years while they search for a new child, and then another 10 or 15 years while they educate that child before he can take over the position as a Dalai Lama. So he has chosen the method which will have that interregnum. That's going to be very difficult politically, but it's going to be much easier to have wide support from other lamas, from the Buddhist community. So he's taken the traditional method. He doesn't always do that, but it's going to be probably welcomed by the community.
And just explain to us, for those of us who don't understand, you know, in that period of time where they have decided upon the successor, and of course it's a young boy, and there's the period of time before he becomes older and mature and in a position to lead. What happens during that period in terms of leadership?
Well, that's what we don't know, and that's what the statement doesn't tell us. What we do know is that 10 or so years ago, he retired from his political position as the head of the exile government. But he also made a statement. Actually, he had a change made to the exile constitution saying that no future Dalai Lamas would have a role in the Tibetan political system. So we're going to see a difference in the next Dalai Lama in that his role will be symbolic. It won't be an executive role like this Dalai Lama had. He won't be making decisions about policy and so on. So it's going to be a different kind of relationship. At the same time, the exiles will have their own elected prime minister as they have now. But really, behind all this is a kind of indirect signaling to China. He's signaling two things here. One is he's going to decide on his reincarnation, not China. And the other is he's showing China that he's made this decision through a kind of popular, we could say almost democratic process of asking the community whether they want his institution to continue. What he said today is that they do want that to happen. But really, that's a signal to China that his legitimacy is based on consent from the community, not on force.
Interesting. It is fascinating. Robbie, thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you.